You've heard these a million times. The college dropout who became a tech billionaire, the struggling actor who slept on their friend's couch before making it big, the single mom who went from welfare to millionaire, and the YouTube channel that exploded with just one video. These tales are so common that you might start thinking, if they can do it, why can't I? So, you want to know the real secret sauce behind every rags to riches story? Come closer and let me show you. Well, buckle up because I'm about to burst your bubble. Here's the hard truth. For every success story you hear, there are countless untold tales of failure. But nobody wants to read a motivational post about the guy who quit his job to pursue his passion and ended up living in his parents' basement, subsisting on a diet of ramen noodles and regret. Or the woman who poured her life savings into a startup that crashed and burned faster than a meteor hitting a dumpster fire. This, my friends, is survivorship bias. The tendency to focus on the few who survived while ignoring the many who didn't. It's like only paying attention to the one lottery winner and thinking, wow, buying lottery tickets must be a smart financial decision, while conveniently overlooking the millions of people who are now poorer and more disappointed than ever. Take the famous World War II story of the military planes that returned from combat riddled with bullet holes. The top brass decided to add extra armor to the areas where these returning planes took the most damage because, apparently, the best way to protect a plane is to make it heavier and less fuel efficient. Genius. But more importantly, they failed to consider that the planes that didn't make it back probably had bullet holes in different places, like the engines or the pilot's seat. Survivorship bias strikes again. The same thing happens when we try to learn the secrets of success from millionaires and CEOs. We ask about their morning routines, business strategies, and what books they read as if their success was solely due to these factors. Meanwhile, we ignore the countless others who had the same routines, used the same strategies, and read the same books, but still ended up far from the meteoric success they hoped to achieve. In the world of YouTube, we try to learn the secrets of success from famous YouTubers. We ask about their titles, thumbnails, video editing techniques, content strategies, and camera gear as if their success was solely due to these factors. However, we often overlook the scores of aspiring creators who employ identical tactics and tools, but we find their views to be as barren as those of the Sahara Desert. As someone who has failed more times than I care to admit, I know firsthand that survivorship bias is the snake oil salesman of the modern age. It tricks us into thinking that success is just around the corner if we follow in the footsteps of the lucky few. Often, success is achieved with a combination of creativity, persistence, and more luck than a horseshoe magnet at the end of a rainbow. So, the next time you hear a rags to riches story, remember that for every Oprah, there are a million Hopras who never made it big. Survivorship bias is like reading the only 5-star reviews on Yelp or Google and thinking, this restaurant must be amazing, while ignoring the hundreds of 1-star reviews warning you that the food is about as tasty as a flip-flop sandwich. Don't let me stop you from chasing your dreams. Ensure you have a backup plan, a sense of humor, and a healthy dose of realism. And now, let's talk about a few ways to counter this sneaky brain trap. 1. Seek out failure stories like a detective on a mission. Embrace your inner Sherlock Holmes and investigate the tales of those who followed the same path but ended up in a ditch. Learn from their mistakes because, let's face it, you'll probably make the same ones anyway. 2. Conduct thorough research and data analysis, even if it means facing the harsh reality that your brilliant idea might not be so clever after all. Dive deep into the numbers and statistics, and try not to cry when you realize that your chances of success are about as slim as winning the lottery while getting struck by lightning. 3. Consider alternative explanations for success stories, like pure dumb luck or a wealthy uncle who mysteriously disappeared. Don't fall for the "I followed my passion" spiel. Sometimes passion leads you straight to a diet of instant noodles and broken dreams. 4. Celebrate and learn from failure because you'll have plenty of opportunities. Throw in "I tried and failed miserably" party, share your tales of woe, and laugh in the face of adversity. Your failures may inspire the next big success story. 5. Be aware of your biases, especially the ones that make you believe you're the exception to the rule. You might think you're the next big thing, but remember, so did the guy who invented the Snuggie. Constantly challenge your assumptions and seek out information that proves you wrong. It's the best way to stay humble and grounded. So, there you have it. the top 5 ways to counter survivorship bias, which tricks us into believing success is easy. Remember that success is a unique blend of hard work, determination, adaptability, and luck. To win, we must stop focusing on the triumphant few and ignore those who failed. Most importantly, we must never stop learning. In a world where survivorship bias reigns supreme, dig deeper, question assumptions, and create your path to success. So, my friends, go and make your mark on the world. Don't forget to enjoy the ride, bumps and all.